What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, and today I have got some huge news for fans of Storybook Brawl and fans of auto battlers in general. We're going to be talking about Once Upon a Galaxy, Fairy Tale Fables, and The Bazaar. And we're going to kick things off looking at Once Upon a Galaxy, which is now in closed beta, and you can request to join. I currently have access. It's a lot of fun, and I'm really excited both to play it and to showcase it on the channel. That'll definitely be coming up. But before we get into that, let me pop in my headphones here, and let's just take a look at this video for what the heck is Once Upon a Galaxy. I don't think this will full screen. No, it won't. Okay, so you choose your captain. We've seen that. You're drafting. Now there is a front line of 3, back line of 2, so slightly smaller board than Storybook Brawl and Fairy Tale Fables, but definitely some game mechanics that we are familiar with. You get triples on your characters, and then you get to grab some treasures which allow you to do some really crazy and powerful things. I put in headphones, but there's no sound coming through. You're not going crazy. So this game's a lot of fun. I've been playing it out myself. There are a few things, a lot of things that separate it from Storybook Brawl and other games in the genre. Primarily, this game is being developed mobile first. You can currently play on mobile tablet, and then you can play on desktop if you use like sort of emulators and things. But for most people, you're gonna just want, most people have a phone. There were people that actually followed along on my channel, I think here, that never really got an opportunity to play Storybook Brawl because they were waiting for it to come out on mobile. So this game is already out on mobile. I'm playing it right now on Test Flight, and I do have ways, I make Marvel Snap content, obviously, so I have ways to get that content onto the computer screen so that way y'all can watch it on YouTube. But it's pretty compact. Right now, I just want to talk about the gameplay behind it. And I guess, I don't know if I said this too, but why am I talking about this random auto battler, and why am I excited about this random auto battler that is currently in closed beta? Well, that's because the team behind it might look familiar. They're people that worked on Storybook Brawl. So obviously, the company that made Storybook Brawl is no more because a billionaire ate it, and now these people have made a new company. People that previously worked on Storybook Brawl, there's a new company. I think it's called like A Million Dreams Inc. Lily is like barely on the screen here. All right, let's take her off. She can come back if she wants to show her face, but she's like slumped into the bottom corner. And Lily's important. There's an important part of this video that has to do with Lily. That's coming up in the second part here. But these are people that I definitely trust. The creative, there's a lot of charm in this game already with some fun twists. Like there is, some similar types that we've seen in Storybook Brawl. We have animals, we've got mages, we don't have royals, now we have heroes, and then we have pirates, and one silly character is the pirate that is both an animal and a pirate, and just silly things like that I always think are a lot of fun. And then Alexis is one of the dreamers as well, one of the developers with the tech behind the game. Here's a little bit more about the people behind it, but we're gonna have a lot of coverage on that game. It's still, I want to say, like, they're still kind of figuring it out. It's very much in a beta build of the game, right? There's going to be like an unlockable sort of progression aspect to the game eventually. Right now, when you play the beta, you download it and you have everything. You have access to every card, every hero, so that you can play around, see what's fun, see what isn't. Eventually, that's going to get scaled back, and there's going to be a little bit of like a deck building aspect to the game as well. But I don't really need to dwell on too much of that because right now you can just play for fun and for free. And that kind of, the details I think are still to be ironed out a little bit. But another game that we have been showcasing a little bit of on this channel is Fairy Tale Fables. And Fairy Tale Fables is more or less just Storybook Brawl, right? They've added some things. We see the weapons and the food in this screenshot. There's definitely some unique things in Fairy Tale Fables, and let's go ahead and watch this video. Let's just see what they are talking about here. Is this going to be anything? I think this is just going to be, yeah, just an example of the gameplay for those that have not seen it. And when I originally downloaded this game and when I initially put out content for this game, one of the first comments that I saw is, okay, this is a lot of AI artwork. And Storybook Brawl, no secret, got shut down because of its affiliations with crypto and that kind of like tech-eating art aspect of crypto NFTs, and now seeing AI art in this sort of spiritual successor has some people worried. Well, that is why they have gotten around to launching a Kickstarter, and I'm not going to go through this full video actually because I want to talk more about this Kickstarter, and I'm probably just going to cut out that audio now that I think about it. But they are raising money to put real artists' art into Fairy Tale Fables, which is really cool. So if you want to support that, they've already hit their goal. There's still a week left to go, and they've raised 7,000 of the 5,000 that they wanted, but there's still some really cool ways to back this project. And I said Lily was going to be important in this video, and you'll see exactly why now. Well, in just a second. So you can back for $5, whatever, a little bit more, get some more stuff, and also some like in-game credits. This is just like baseline wanting to support, and then yeah, a few other people, you know. Okay, so here's where things get cool. I'm gonna scroll down a little bit because what they have done, and hopefully if you were interested in this part of the game, you already received this news and were able to contribute. But here's what's really cool. You can get your pet in the game, and basically they've got different tiers. Nobody's taken them up on the frog specific offer yet, but basically every cat related offer is gone. Even the sheep one is gone, which is kind of crazy. But basically anyone that like wanted to back here, so this had 2 backers, and now both of these backers will get their own cats immortalized in the game. And they're like, wherever, because there's a bunch of animals in Fairy Tale Fables, big into both the cats and the dogs, and honestly I was a little bit not in love with that aspect of the game, just because it kind of seemed, I don't know, a little generic, and the AI art certainly didn't help with that. But now there's a really cool opportunity. You see most of these do not have any stock left. This one still does. So if you want to put in yourself as a humanized character, you can get yourself in the game. It's saying, this is showing the Acolyte. I'm not sure if there were different options because there were, 4 left of 5. Okay, so yeah, there's still 4 different humanoid characters that can get in the game. Let's see, this still has 1 left. So this is, I mean, listen, she's kind of off screen right now. Let me grab her. Come here, you puppy. Come here. You want to be a personalized herding dog, Lily? What do y'all think? Do you think we could get Lily in the game? We've got a week left in this Kickstarter campaign. Yeah, so it's about $300. I'm not making this video just to say like, hey, let's get Lily in the game, let's raise some money, but I don't know. Haven't really thought about it, but maybe I could do. And then there's also the, if anybody has a adventuring husky. Yeah, if anybody wants to support the game and get Lily in the game, let me know. Feel free to reach out. But if you want to get in your own pet, obviously, I'll understand, and I'll still appreciate you for supporting Fairy Tale Fables and for supporting real artists, which is what this is mostly about. This is obviously about making the game look more polished and more fun. I'm gonna put her down just because she doesn't love being like that, I'm sure. But now she's in frame here for this. Yeah, this is about supporting real artists and supporting a game and a developer that's basically like making a passion project. These numbers don't seem like they're really about making money here necessarily. Obviously, once the AI art is removed from the game, that does open up more possibilities, both in terms of advertising the game and just like maybe moving it out of beta potentially. And so there's definitely some and also, like I said, when I showcase this game, people are like, oh, that's AI artwork, and they close the tab. So there's a little bit that will help to dissuade or combat, if that makes sense. But I think it's a really cool way to run a Kickstarter where it's like, okay, you can get all your pets in the games and actually have an impact on the art. And it's not just like supporting it and getting like a little badge and stuff, but there is that. And then there is one other thing that I think this is another interesting opportunity. So this is pretty cheap. There's no limit to this. You are effectively paying to work if you're going to pay $20 and draw a hero. Now, this is obviously like a crude little stick figure drawing, but there's nothing that says you have to draw a crude little stick figure drawing. You can, if you are an artist, throw in $20, contribute to other artists being able to play in the game or submit art for the game, commission art for the game rather, and also kind of just show off your own little stuff and maybe have a cool impact on a game that you love if you want to flex some of your skills there. So wanted to draw some attention to this. I am going to have more Fairy Tale Fables content coming up. I actually stopped putting out Fairy Tale Fables content because right now in the game I have 49 wins. So I haven't played the game in like 2 weeks because I've been busy and I wanted to play it with live commentary to get that 50th win while recording live commentary. So that's definitely going to be a part of some Fairy Tale Fables content going further. And I also just wanted to draw attention to the fact that now in Fairy Tale Fables there is a monthly tournament that you qualify for based off rating, and there is a monthly tournament that everybody can play in that is a 1v1 tournament. So two pretty cool opportunities there for competitive play. And I guess I did also kind of just want to talk about a little bit about the queues right now in Once Upon a Galaxy. So right now there's 2 ways to queue up. I think that this is like important stuff to get out in this video. And those 2 modes are basically synchronous and asynchronous play from Fairy Tale Fables, which if that's confusing to you, synchronous play is basically what we saw in Storybook Brawl, and asynchronous play just means that you are playing up against ghosts of other players so that you can close the app and reopen it and continue your games at any time. But what is a huge separator between Once Upon a Galaxy and, let's say, Super Auto Pets or Backpack Battles is the asynchronous play in Once Upon a Galaxy is lobby-based. So you'll be matched up against 5 other players, and then you will only play against the ghosts of those 5 other players, and those players will scale up throughout the game. So there's no AI opponents in the Once Upon a Galaxy. You could probably... No, I don't think there's any. I don't even think they coded in AI. I think it only steals other players' previous boards. So That, I think, is a really cool innovation from Fairy Tale Fables that I'm sure other games have done as well, but I hope that that's like the bare minimum we get going forward. At least the lobby-based play of all of that, I think, is super important. It definitely is not without its faults, but I personally like it. And then the synchronous play that is currently available in Once Upon a Galaxy is only available through battles with friends. There is no matchmaking, there's no ranked or anything right now. The only way to get into synchronous play is to do like private lobbies, effectively. And that's still an option, and there's always people organizing that on Discord. I haven't actually tried that out yet, but that seems like a lot of fun as well. And then one other game that I wanted to talk about and look at in this video is the Bazaar. So maybe we can, yeah, I think we will wind up watching one video in this one because this game is not out yet. You can pre-register, which I've done, and you can also sort of like kickstart the game, which I'll talk about in just a moment. There's going to be heroes. There is an interesting aspect of this game if you are familiar at all with backpack battles and the fact that everything that you draft takes up a certain amount of space in your backpack. This does not use the backpack mechanic, so it might be a little bit less clean thematically, but then we also see that there's like cooldowns and stuff. So combat, very, very similar potentially to backpack battles. I don't really know. I don't know what we're getting into with this game. You'll notice that I haven't played that much backpack yet, and there is like drafting and unlocking stuff. They've been working hard on how to monetize it. I think that, like, I personally have an idea for what I think would be really cool auto-battler mechanics that I'd potentially like to develop as an auto-battler. But I'm totally clueless on how to monetize it. So I think watching what happens with Once Upon a Galaxy and watching what happens with the Bazaar are going to be really interesting to see what how. So I'll say this: the reason I'm drawn to auto battlers as a genre is the idea that all players start on the same footing. So Bazaar isn't going to have that. Once Upon a Galaxy currently has that, with all players having full collections, but eventually isn't really going to have that. So it might not be, these games might not be exactly what I'm looking for, right? But I'm still definitely going to try them out. I've been loving Marvel Snap, and that game obviously is just a full CCG, so maybe there is some room here on that spectrum in between CCG and full draft mode auto battler. So here is a little slot of the board. We can see that all of these items have different sizes here, and there are definitely bonuses for like keeping things next to other things and combos and different fun stuff like that in the same way that you would see in backpack battles. Obviously, it's looking like a little more, I kind of want to say clean, a little more rigid, though I think could also be a fair comparison. Oh, I might have, okay, well, doesn't matter. You get the idea there. That's what the board is. And yeah, I can't really speak too much else on it. I think that some aspects of backpack battles were really fun. I kind of like the puzzle elements of it, and I do want to play that game again. I've only played like 4 games of it. Part of why I don't like backpack battles is the completely random lack of a lobby system. You just play and you queue up against random opponents like you do in Super Auto Pets. I'm curious how the Bazaar is going to handle that, just because when I'm in a lobby, I feel so much more like I'm either winning or losing that lobby. And I don't care if I lose, but when I'm not in a lobby and I win, I don't really feel like I've won. Hopefully that makes sense, and probably does if you're watching this video because you liked Storybook Brawl. And yeah, looks like there's different cosmetics and things like that. Maybe that's what they're going with. So play at your own pace with asynchronous drafting against other players. It doesn't really tell us exactly how it's all going to work out. And first free-to-play hero builder for PC and Mac, that they're just kind of saying nothing there, because, you know, who cares, or whatever. They're making up their own term and saying, yeah, we're the first thing that's doing this. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, and you know what? So I don't know the name of it, but there is another game that I maybe could have. It actually came into it turned free to play earlier this year. You might know it. It's got like some Asian name and Asian theme, and it's like samurais or some type of fighting. But yeah, I think that might be the first free to play hero builder for PC and Mac. So the Bazaar, for those of you that don't know, this game has been hyped up and teased for years at this point. It's gone through multiple iterations. At one point, this game was a clone of Dominion with hero powers, essentially. And then it drifted into the autobattler genre, and Reynad, the CEO or lead creative behind it, was pretty vocal that Super Auto Pets took his plan for asynchronous matchmaking. I've already said I'm not the biggest fan of that type of matchmaking, but I'm still willing to give any of these games a shot, especially if they're free. And then after that, complained that Backpack Battles stole the sort of other stuff that Backpack Battles does that I've said is similar. Those games were just less robust and thus first to market. Maybe I will ultimately wind up liking this because it is more robust. I have not been the biggest fan of Super Auto Pets nor Backpack Battles. So that is to say, like, maybe this game won't be for me. However, there are ways to support the game and get closed beta access for you and a friend. Hi friend, what's up? Anybody want to join? If you are already planning on supporting this game and jumping into a tier that gives you the closed beta access and you don't have a friend, I mean, I only need one person that wants to let me jump in on your founder pack there, so that way I can check out the game and provide some content for it. And then there's also some additional cosmetics. This is actually kind of cool. So I don't know if there's any way to check in on this, but as the first, if you're one of the first 5,000 tier 3, it would suck to not be one of the first 5,000, but I'm sure there's ways to see like if you would be. But you can get a vinyl with the music from the game. I think that's a pretty cool Kickstarter package, Kickstarter bonus, and definitely if you're into that, that could be pretty sweet. That's basically it. Oh, and you do have to pay for shipping for the vinyl. Makes sense. That's going to be it for this video. I think there is a lot of cool stuff to check out right now, and I said a few months ago that this is seeming like a pretty big time to be into auto battlers because we've got Fairy Tale Fables, Backpack Battles came out this year. The other game, I think it's called like Zanchi or something like that, I know I'm butchering it. I'm sorry. I haven't played it yet. I want to play it. Somebody told me a few months ago that that is available for free, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But definitely want to check that game out. And then upcoming, well, actually right now, we've got Once Upon a Galaxy. So request access for the closed beta, and you can get in that, and I will be showing that off probably next week, tomorrow, maybe even. I will have a video up on Once Upon a Galaxy. I'm not sure, but within the next week, I will definitely have some Once Upon a Galaxy content, and then the Bazaar coming soon, maybe. I think they said October or November of this year is the plan for the beta. So still a little bit down the line, but hopefully with all of the time that they have put into this one, it's going to be good. We'll see. That is going to be it for me today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven here with Lily. Peace.